have like plans or 3D renders?
We do, yeah.
Can you send me some of the 3D renders?
Yes, yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I would love to see
it's
the renders.
Yeah, it's gonna look a lot different than this. Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Some walls and stuff.
You're gonna be able to picture a little better, Ryan, from that.
Good morning, Marco Island. This is the Good Morning Marco podcast, Marco Island's first, best, and only podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Sullivan.
I'm Jordan Crayley.
And today we have a super special guest.
John Riley from the YMCA of Collier County.
John, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to be talking a bit about the YMCA. We're going to be talking a bit about our upcoming new building that we're getting, which is funny because we referenced this on the podcast, not knowing at all what we're talking about. And now it materialized that we're doing this episode. So I'm very excited for today.
As am I.
Cool. So if you can give just a short little pitch as to what we're here talking about today and who you are.
Sure. Well, I'm the Director of Development here at the Y, and so have responsibility for fundraising. We do, I think, probably a lot more charitable work than everyone in the community realizes. So we're a 501c3, and we, at our core, want to make sure that we provide services to everyone of all ages, regardless of their ability to pay. So we raise a lot of money for children's programs, scholarships, and really to support families and people of all ages. One of the biggest reasons we're here today is to talk about our Active Life campaign, which will culminate in the construction of a new Healthy Living Center, which is going to benefit the entire community, all ages, but we're really going to expand some room for adult programming, especially older adult programming. And we think that's an area that where there's a real need, a gap in services in our community. So we're happy, along with lots of wonderful partners, to fill that need.
Wonderful.
Lovely.
Wonderful. Great. So we're going to get into all of that in just a moment here. But first, a very special word from a very special sponsor.
This episode of Good Morning Marco is brought to you by Tyler Buchan of the Golf Group. Located right here on Marco Island, they're your go-to experts for luxury living on Marco Island and beyond. Whether you're looking for a waterfront home with golf access, a condo with stunning beach views, or a private retreat down on Hideaway Beach, Tyler and his team will guide you to your home. Visit thegolfgroup.com to start your search today, or call 239-420-1099. Once again, that number is 239-420-1099. Go to thegolfgroup.com to find out more. Thank you so much to Tyler and his team for sponsoring this episode of Good Morning Marco.
Well, thank you so much for sponsoring this very special episode of Good Morning Marco. Again, John, thank you so much for coming on the podcast today. Thank you for having us. And thank you for the tour of the construction site. We'll be including some of that footage through. Here's a little teaser of that.
This is so cool.
All right, so we've got our footers recently poured in here. So it means we're going to be making a lot of progress soon. I believe this is our elevator shaft right here, if I'm not mistaken, Robert, that this will be very near our stairway to fitness. We'll have an elevator and a stairway to go up to our second floor, which is where our library, our Rotary Club, library nook, and our brand new fitness center will be. We'll also have a reflection room and lots of balconies out there. You can get an idea of what the view from those balconies is going to look like over the tennis courts right here. So we're seeing this for the first time.
Okay, cool.
So a lot of this concrete was poured yesterday, and this is our first time up on top of the heap right here. Well, we've had a long, I think that's great. We've had a long dream of having a building on this site. Cindy and previous board members have known that we had a need for expansion here.
Yes, the vision's been here since around 2008.
We've known that this 8.5 acre campus was all we were really going to have. There's no room to expand around here, and this was the place that we could add a little bit more on this footprint and then go up 2 floors is what we can do. So We're adding 17,000 square feet right here, and we're getting as much use out of it as we can, I think.
Yeah, we're maximizing our acreage and exactly what we can do. We have no room to build from here.
Yeah, we've seen that with our children's programs and our programs for seniors, we really, everything we do to add something, we have to compromise something else. And we've gotten to that point in our growth where there were no more acceptable compromises we could make. So it was time to build.
Yeah, and this is after the Youth Development Center. Now we're really focusing in on the adults and some of our not so active adults,
Right.
to create a lot of socialization space and just build that community hub even more.
That's exactly right.
So, as John spoke about the new entrance, and it's going to be fantastic, and that's over here in this left-hand corner. And if we walk over through here and on the outside of the building, we also are going to have plenty of bike racks and ways to get here, parking, so to speak, with your bicycle. And so they're encouraging that walk to the center and bike to the center and be more healthy. And also we will be having some golf cart parking spaces, so they can come by their golf cart, and we know that that's a big thing on the island right now as well. And so as you walk into the building, you're going to walk into this big, beautiful lobby, and a lot of the things that John already talked about, but also, as he spoke about, the planters, we're calling them planters, but they all have sitting areas. And so for more socialization, to hang out, as we know, a lot of people do their activities and then they're talking in the parking lot. And so now we're creating spaces where they can talk about their tennis game, their pickleball game, or their class that they just took, and before they get into their cars. So that's the outside of the building. There's going to be a big courtyard, which is way over there, Ryan, by the building, where it's going to be covered, and it will be another area for a lot of socialization and programming, outside programming.
Wasn't that great? The magic of editing.
You had to be there.
Yeah. Well, now you were. They all were there now. Anyway, tell me just a little bit about the YMCA, a little bit about what we're doing here and what the sort of what the campaign is going forward.
Sure. So we've known for really years that we were going to need to expand on this campus. We're fortunate after our merger in 2022 to have a North Campus in North Naples and a South Campus here on Marco Island. And it's just a lot of resources that we're able to use together in a way that's very efficient. We have more room on our North Campus than we do here. We have 8.5 acres that was contributed by the Deltona Corporation when Marco Island was planned, and it's always been set aside as a community resource. We've used that really well, and we've added over time. We added in 2015 just a beautiful youth development center, which really let us focus our energy on putting the best programming in there, and took some pressure off of figuring out where are we going to move these kids around to offer all these things. We're really looking at taking that what's worked so well with our youth development center and letting them have primary use over that space, and doing the same thing for our older adults in the new building. And what that's going to do is it's going to free up other space for our children's programs, especially our older children, our middle schoolers and high schoolers. It's going to give more space for teenagers and young adults to be able to do the kinds of activities that they enjoy and not always be pushed around for our adult classes.
Yeah. Which, speaking on that, as a teacher in one of these events one of these classes at the YMCA, which, by the way, you can still sign up for the theater camp, Y Theatrics, at the Marco YMCA. 7 weeks left in the course by the time that this episode comes out. Anyway, but we just started this past Saturday. Not by the time of recording this. Anyway, as a teacher for one of those classes, it has been frustrating in the past where if I want to get in early and set up, the earliest that I can get in for my 10 a.m. class is 9:55.
That's right.
Because God forbid, I interrupt the class that's going on before. I don't want to name and shame anybody.
We're programmed to the max,
right?
And where we see that is, especially during our high season, we see that our middle schoolers and high schoolers are coming, socializing, playing volleyball, basketball in our gymnasium. At the same time, we have older adults playing mahjong in the lobby in every spare corner because there is nowhere else. And then everybody gets moved out for other adult classes to come in. We don't want to have to make those compromises.
And then on top of that, you have like whole campus-wide events, something like Healthy Kids Day,
right?
Where we happened to clash with that one time. Then we're moved into the preschooler room, and then when you get a group of 7 to 13-year-olds, 7 to 13-year-olds in a preschool room together, they regress very fast, and it's difficult to hold a rein on them. It is,
so true.
Yeah.
So true.
It's like when you're in a blank room and the only thing to focus on is your imagination, great, joy. But when you are in a room and there are blocks, there are doll houses, there's everything, it is just stimulation central, and it is hard.
That's called pandemonium.
Yes,
right,
pandemonium.
Right. Yeah. Right. And that's one of the things that we really want to address with this. In addition to the real need that's here, I spoke of that gap. We have a lot of people. It's no secret that our average age on Marco Island is quite high compared to other areas. The average age of people, members, participants walking through our front doors is high. And for those who are very active, this is a fantastic place.
Right.
We have many people over 60, 65 coming in every day, taking water aerobics, swimming laps, playing pickleball, tennis, doing all of those things. What we don't see as much on this campus, or really a lot of other places on the island, are the people who have lost a spouse, the people who have had a chronic disease diagnosis, the people who are just not as comfortable because of physical or social reasons of getting out and being engaged in the community. And that has really devastating effects on their mental health as well as their physical health. And as a YMCA that focuses on spirit, mind, and body for all, it's really important to us that we partner with others and that we create a hub where we can address those issues.
Yeah, that's incredible, because I feel like something that Marco lacks is a community center.
Right.
And what it sounds like you guys are building is a community center.
Sure.
It's for a multifaceted level. I don't know the exact way of putting this, but there's so many different aspects to the demographics that you can hit with it, and there's especially those underserved people on Marco that make up a majority of the people who live on Marco. Because really, when it comes to people who've lost a spouse, the only event that I've even heard of that can that draws people out of their house is something like a grief share. And now, being in a family that has dealt with loss, my dad never wanted to go to grief share. Like he would never want to do that. He's like, I'll join the widow group on Facebook, but I am doing nothing else. It's like I will go commiserate. And then he stayed in the house a lot, so I fully understand. And my grandma, she stayed home afterwards or not. It would have been great if she had somewhere that she could have been able to go and be safe. That there's people around and all that. So.
You're so right, Ryan, and it's something we see a lot. There are opportunities on the island and around. It's a matter of getting those things coordinated and having a range of programming that appeals to people. Like you said, your father wasn't interested in going to Grief Share.
Yeah.
Well, that's a challenge, is getting people in a space where they're comfortable. We do see a lot of people at our monthly lunch with friends, which is a collaborative effort. Allison Richards kind of spearheads this. It's Our Daily Bread, the YMCA, Al's Pals, and the Lutheran Church. And we have in season well over 200 people who are coming, and even in the summer, it's a packed house. For some of those people, they tell me that's their main social outlet for the month.
Yeah.
And I do hear stories there of people who were formerly very active. They don't feel like they don't feel as comfortable in the spaces they used to. They don't go out to eat as much. They don't go to happy hour. They don't play golf and go to the clubs that they used to. We want to make sure we're creating a space at the Y where people can be very active, but also where they can just socialize.
Yeah.
And we'll bring those resources so that if what they really need or want in their lives is grief sharing, that they can do that in a space that they're already comfortable.
Yeah.
There is a different barrier if you're used to coming here to play bridge, or to take a chair yoga class, and now you're doing something in the next room. It's different than joining a new group and going to a new space.
Which I'll say this, and I'll let you cut in because I know that you want to say something, but I just want to comment on that. And another thing about that is being in a place that people are comfortable. The only other place that offers grief share are specifically churches. And now the YMCA is, of course, a Christian organization.
That's right.
But it is not, there's not like a barrier for entry, where, of course, you would hope most churches are not going to have a barrier for entry, but still, in the mind, there will be a disconnect between going to a local church that you've never been to before versus going to the local YMCA. So that is another thing that would be incredible. So I'll let you go ahead now. I just had to say that.
You're good. From the way it sounds, this is only like probably the third time I've been to the Y here on the island. The other two times were when I was really little.
Yes.
And, you know, as somebody who lives on the island, I never really hear much about events that happen at the Y. I also still kind of feel like it's important that who did we talk to? I think it was like Deb, who said she wants to
Deb
make
Henry?
something
Yes, it
where
was
all
Deb
the
Henry.
events are in one place. I think that'd be perfect. But so never hearing much about it, when I pulled in, I was like, okay, like I'm going to park right next to the construction thing. And then I'm all the way at the end. And it has been a super slammed parking lot the whole time, watching people come in and out of their cars, all different walks of life. How many people normally are here?
I'm going to refer to my off-camera advisor here. Cindy, on an average day, it's different in season versus this time of year. We stay busy year-round. We really do. About 1,000 people through the door on a given day. Remember that we're a hub of children's services, so we have after school, summer camp, early learning, all on this campus. Then we have our tennis, pickleball, all our fitness center, all of those things going at the same time. We're also for all ages. And we're also providing services off our campuses.
Yeah.
So we have other sites at Cornerstone Methodist Church in North Naples. We have in East Naples, we serve most of the Title I schools, Parkside, Manatee, Manatee Middle School, and Everglades City. We're one of the main providers of services for families from the Everglades City area. And so it's we really have a pretty big geographic reach. It's not just on these campuses, but this is for the size of this campus. It's very full. It's very full, and we're fortunate to have this 8.5 acres here, and we're very fortunate to be filling up our last little usable spot here. And we really do make the most of it. Yeah. We really do. We make the most of the space that we have, do as much programming to help people of all ages. But you're right. It's there always are activities going on here. We are closed only a couple of days out of the year. Christmas Day and Easter. And one of the reasons that we do that we're open on holidays and other things, we want to make sure that our first responders have childcare. We want to make sure that people are able to stay healthy, to keep their fitness routines going, all those things went around their schedule, so that we're not the kind of place that you think has is just a daytime during the week when it's convenient. And in addition to that, we have a 24-hour fitness area.
Okay, yeah.
So our members, there's a separate area where they can come in and do their cardio, some light weightlifting, stretching, those sorts of things. In our 24-hour area. And then we also have partners who provide other kinds of medical, mental health services, things like that. That's through all of our programming. We have a lot of partners who help us with our children's programs and otherwise. So it's really, we're, I say, a hub here, and it only works because of our partnerships with other organizations, with funders, with community leaders, and with nonprofit specialists who come in and help us provide the services that the community needs.
Cool.
So at the moment, the building we're currently in, this is the lobby and everything. The new building, will the lobby remain the same in this building, or is everything going to shift to the newer building?
So the new building will become the front door for the campus. So there'll be a nice drop-off area. The parking will be a lot more centralized around that new entrance. That will be the main lobby, the main security point. This lobby in this building, what people currently think of as our front door, is going to become the lobby for our early learning center. So that is where parents will drop off and pick up their children. That's going to allow us to have a lot more security for that, and just privacy as well. You know, we do a great job of putting our kids first, but it will be an added layer to know that that we can direct traffic away from those areas where the children are. So I think there's an advantage there, and we'll repurpose some of the space in this building so that our fitness center is going to move into a bigger space on the second floor of the new building. That's going to be very exciting. We'll have new equipment, more room to breathe in there, higher ceilings. And just more equipment in general. So there should be, less wait time, and people should be able to do just a better range of the kinds of things that are popular now.
Mm-hmm. So what is just a little bit of we did a walkthrough of the new building. Do you want to speak on a little bit more about the building, about what the layout is kind of going to be, and then we can sort of cut between what you said there and then what we're saying here.
Absolutely, yeah, and you can show some of these beautiful renderings.
Love. They are so gorgeous.
Yeah, we're so excited.
And even if you want to show us now, and then I can just splice this same stuff in, so you can have a visual aid while you're talking. That is totally fine.
That sounds great. And one thing I think is exciting, that was for Cindy and me, that was our first time walking the site.
Really?
Well, they've just, it's right, as they've gotten those, the concrete poured yesterday, the forms taken off, it's really kind of opened up where we can walk it a little bit more.
How long ago was the groundbreaking?
The groundbreaking was in January. So the schedule is a little different than we anticipated.
As is the custom.
That's right. And there was some reason, what we anticipated, the order of things being, and how we could get started on some things. There were some anticipations with the site work that didn't go perfectly to plan, but things are on a nice schedule. We found out from our builder yesterday that by getting the forms poured, all the footers finished, that puts us within a day. We're back to within a day of their schedule.
Wow.
So we're on track to be open in about a year is the best I can say there. But it's really exciting, and so we are building and fundraising at the same time. So we've raised just over $6 million, about 6.15 right now. against an $8.5 million goal. So we're close to 3/4 of the way there. By the time this airs, hopefully we'll be a little bit farther, but we really need the community's help to bring this home. But the building is going to be going up in the meantime, and there's some faith involved in that.
Yeah.
We're going to have a great season of fundraising, and as people see this going up, they're going to be able to visualize a little bit better.
Yes.
Yeah, and that takes us back to our walkthrough.
So why don't we look at where some things are going to go on the site here. This is really going to be our front entrance right here. If you look kind of where that mound of dirt is, a simple thing that's going to make a big difference is going to be a drop-off area. So we're going to have an ability to pull up, let people out with mobility issues. We're going to have nice ramps here coming in. And then this will go straight into our lobby. It's going to be named for the Dowk family, who very generously supported us here. We're going to have the Hydrologica Healthy Cafe in here. So that's going to be a wonderful thing. I think our members and participants are really going to enjoy right here as you come in the front door. And then the main feature of this part of the building downstairs is a flexible adult social and wellness center. So that's really where we're going to be programming for our older adults. It's also going to free up space in our existing facilities to do more youth programming, more teen programs, and to give our middle schoolers and others more space to enjoy themselves, stay longer, playing basketball, socializing with their friends, while we're getting some people who wouldn't otherwise be as active engaged here on our campus. Guys, around here we're going to be in the Publix catering kitchen, and then that opens up onto our adult social and wellness center. And with the partitions that are going to be in here, we can have 3 smaller areas, 2 larger areas, or 1 very large area for communal meals, for educational seminars, for all kinds of activities, or we can break it down for smaller bridge groups, support groups, luncheons, things like that. And then over in this area, we're going to have some even smaller rooms for just more intimate conversations, maybe one-on-one visits with partners, or other kinds of things that may be better accomplished in smaller group settings. This part of the Adult Social and Wellness Center, when broken into thirds, will be our main exercise area. So we're going to have mirrors along the back wall, and all our equipment stored nearby. So we'll be able to do a lot of our adult classes, exercise classes, in this area, which does free up the current gymnasium for other activities.
So that takes us back to our walkthrough of visualizing it. What did you guys think about what you could see? Could you get a picture of it?
I'm starting to see the vision. It's
The
very
renders
cool
help a lot.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
By
So going out
far.
there and hearing the explanation of the layout and all of that, really seeing the renders kind of puts it all together and makes it feel homey already.
Which
Yeah.
I didn't really see much of the renders because I was setting up while you guys were looking at that. So I'm more so thinking about just what we saw outside. And it's always fun looking at when the concrete is all laid because you can see the layout, and it's just you can sort of like visualize where things are, and it's then also going back when it's all said and done.
Right.
Just saying it's like, oh, well, I was standing here when there wasn't a floor. It's
Right.
like, this is great.
That's right.
It's like, I always think
right.
about the house that they built right next to mine. I went looking around when they were first laid the concrete, and I thought of that today. And it's just like, then years later, I go and I talk to the realtor trying to sell the house next door, and I'm like, wow, I was standing here years ago. And it's like, I can't wait for that.
No, you got your feet in the dirt today.
Oh, very much so.
And within a few weeks, we'll have a full slab down.
Cool.
And then we'll go vertical with block from there, and it's going to start to look a lot different. So this was a snapshot moment in time. And we're excited for the progress. So, since you didn't see the renderings, why don't I show you the renderings?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
We'll also have to come and do some some like little updates, like not full episode updates, but just like come and sit down and be like, well, this is where we are right now. It's like it's like it's like this is where we're at in the fund. This is where we're at in the build out. We're under budget and ahead of schedule. Praise God. So that's
I like your thinking, Ryan. I like your thinking. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Well,
Cool.
let's see. Let me show you here. This, what you're looking at, Ryan, is a rendering of the very front entrance. It's on that northwestern corner. It just really faces the corner of San Marco and Sand Hill, and you can see the drop off, the steps and the ramps going up to the front door. That's there.
Cool. It really reminds me a lot of the two schools of MICMS and MIA.
Oh, it does.
It does, doesn't it? You're right. I think it blends in nicely on the island.
Yeah, and it fits the visual.
Right.
Yeah, the community aesthetic.
Right.
Yes.
And
there we go. That's
the
what
community
I was
aesthetic. That's nice, and probably not completely random. We do have. We're working with LDG Architects, Living Design Group out of Miami, and we're also working with Build Construction, and they've both been involved in other projects on the island.
Okay.
So I think that helps as well to have a common aesthetic to the island, and we really appreciate both of those organizations.
Cool.
This is the Dowk lobby and the Young mezzanine. You can see the area overlooking the lobby there. In the back behind that beautiful Y on the wall is the Sandlin Community Room, named for Linda and Alan Sandlin. And so we've really gotten a lot of great support to get where we are. And this is going to be just a wonderful, welcoming space as you come in the door. Give us wonderful security for people to check in as well.
May I ask a quick question?
Of course.
So speaking of checking in, and this being the main hub for that,
right?
How would one go about being more involved with the Y?
There are so many ways to be involved in the Y. Of course, we have individual memberships, family memberships, but there's so many other ways. We depend on over 1,300 volunteers to run our programs. We have people who work with children on literacy in our schools through our Y Reads program. We have people who are event volunteers. We have people who do cleanups. We have people who help us around the campus. There are a lot of opportunities for people to get involved as donors, as people putting sweat equity into what we do, as advisors.
That's a great term that I've never heard before, and I'm going to start using that.
Oh yeah, it matters a lot. It really does. It really does count when you look at the value of 1,300 volunteers.
Oh yeah.
What we have about in the county doing all of our programs, it's over $9 million a year.
Wow!
If we did not have those 1,300 volunteers, it would be a lot more. It's a lot to raise through membership fees and grants and individual donations. It's a lot of work to get to $9 million, but it would be so much more if we didn't get that kind of support from people.
Some of the largest expenses that for-profit companies have is employees.
Personnel are very expensive.
And the fact that there are people that are willing to help, because to help teaching kids how to read. I mean, that's one of the most important things that there is. And all those other,
There's a gentleman who has been a paid assistant in our literacy program for, I believe last year he was a paid assistant. We've had wonderful support through the Florida legislature for a lot of our programs. This year, we received a recurring, I think, as a state alliance of YMCAs, a recurring investment of over $700,000, which we're very appreciative of. But we had been getting another $500,000 in non-recurring money. We didn't get that this year. So we all had to cut back a little bit to provide the same services. And it's very important to us that we keep these services at these schools and that these kids are being, it's very real when you see the impact that it makes.
Especially over the past 5 years.
Right.
Because with the move to online learning,
right.
during COVID. I mean, I've got quite a few friends who are elementary school teachers.
Yeah.
And a lot of kids grown in recent years, their reading level is dashed compared to what it would have been pre-COVID.
Right.
So it's if it's ever been important, it's more important now than ever, I would say, to have programs like that.
It is. It really is. It makes a big difference. Those teachers refer the kids to us who are really falling behind.
Yeah.
And we work hands-on with them. So we have this gentleman who was a paid assistant last year. Well, we don't have the money to pay the assistants this year, so he's volunteering. So it's too important to let it go. I wish I knew his name offhand, but I can find it for you. And he's just so passionate about helping the kids that he wasn't going to let money stand in the way. And that is the way that we achieve the Y's mission, is by stretching every dollar and depending on the wonderful hearts of people in our community to help us deliver our end products, which are really changed lives, for the better, the people at all ages.
Yeah, I think y'all have done an excellent job of casting the vision, of getting. I mean, just judging by the fact that someone who's been paid for however many years, he's been doing that and is now doing it on a completely volunteer basis. I mean, there's that just. Vision is the only word that I can really use for it. Is just people all running in the same direction together is just great, because one person can only do so much, but having you said over 1,300 volunteers, that's
right,
astounding.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great.
It really makes a big difference. Do you want to go back to the renderings?
Let's go back to looking at
our beautiful.
Let's look at the future
lobby here. If you come in, that's what you're going to see. If you take a sharp left, you're going to see this. You're going to see the Hydrologica Healthy Cafe. So this is all part of that idea that when you come to the Y, we want people to feel permission to come and stay. Not come take a class and feel like you need to be here at 10 and clear out by 11 and your time is done here.
Third space.
Exactly right. So we're going to have potentially smoothies, coffees, salads, healthy wraps, things like that. And this is named the Hydrologica Healthy Cafe because our member Michael Montgomery has a company that really does wonderful work around the world, digging clean water wells, but also teaching the local community how to the engineering and maintenance of all that so that it becomes perpetual. He loves the Y. He loves the work that he does. He wanted to bring those things together. So rather than just personally put his name, he wanted to promote the work that he and his team are doing around the world. So we're very excited about that.
It's very cool.
And then here we have our adult social and wellness
that's so
center. It is. And one thing I can tell you is that those ceilings are actually going to be raised by reconfiguring our partitions. Where you see those columns, those are where the partitions were going to come out of the ceiling. By making those side mounted, we're going to be able to raise those ceilings even more and have a very nice open space. In the back of that, you see a little pass-through back there. That's a pass-through from the Publix charity's kitchen back there. So we're going to be able to provide meals here.
Now, is I assume that's all acoustic paneling on the wall there?
That is in the rendering. That's acoustic paneling. I don't know how much will really be there. One of the reasons for that in that space is that the area we're looking at in the foreground is going to become one of our primary exercise spaces.
Right.
So it can be used, it can all be opened up, used for one big event, or it can be partitioned into 3 separate spaces. When that is being used for exercise, we want to absorb as much of that sound as possible. So that, maybe there's a card game going on the other side, but maybe closest to the kitchen, there's something where there's a speaker or something where we need. So we want to have as much sound absorption as possible. A YMCA is never going to be quiet.
Oh, of course not.
Never going to be quiet. We are going to have a reflection room upstairs, but I'll caution that it's going to be only so quiet. This is looking from another view. You can see the mirrored wall there. And on that back wall where you see a door, that's the entrance to the Thomas family activity suite. Those are some smaller breakout rooms back there for counseling or small group discussions.
Now, if someone wants to give into the project,
yes,
is there like a website that they go to, or if I assume if a more significant donation, like to the degree of I want a wing named after me type of deal, what is the process for something like that?
The easiest thing is to talk to me directly or to talk to our CEO, Cindy Love Abinator, and I will share all of my information with you. My email is development@ymcacollier.org. And Cindy is just CEO at ymcacollier.org. You can always go to our website, ymcacollier.org, and find we have a page on the campaign there. But you're right. For larger donations, we'd certainly like to speak to people directly. And it's usually not the kind of thing that you pull a credit card out for and do online, although we welcome that too. We really are getting to the stage in the campaign where we want the community to help us bring this home, and we do think we'll get most of these spaces named, and it's just a wonderful way to honor people that that you care about. It doesn't have to. It could be your name, but it also could be somebody else.
Or your business. Like
it could be your business. That's exactly right, and that's a wonderful. I tell you, the building has, I think, officially probably a lifespan of 40 to 50 years. And, what a great way to advertise your business in perpetuity because, as long as this building stands, we're going to keep those names on those spaces. So, it's a wonderful way to show that you care about the community, that you're investing in your neighbors.
Incredible. You were moving, so I wasn't sure if you were going to say something.
I was sitting back up to look at the TV again.
Okay,
sorry. So sorry.
This is this is just showing that same space set up for a communal meal, and that's something we'll do in there a lot. It can hold at least 200 people for a meal, and then here's that group exercise space. This is something I'm really excited about. This is the Marco Noontime Rotary Library Nook. It's actually going to be a bit larger than that. We reconfigured there was storage for fitness right behind there. We're actually taking out those blue walls to make it bigger.
Cool.
And we're going to have a really nice social a place where you can quietly read a book. Or visit
as quietly as possible
with friends, but it's going to be open to the lobby as well. So you're going to be in the mix of things. You see people in this rendering coming and going from the fitness center. So we really like that idea of people engaged in different activities, people of different ages, interacting with each other. While you may see mostly older people downstairs at your event that focuses on dementia or Parkinson's or something like that, then you come upstairs, you're reading a book, and you're seeing people of all ages. So we like that idea of having programming specific to certain groups, and also opportunities for people to interact.
Great.
This is a rendering of the fitness center.
Which I noticed doesn't have a name yet.
It does not have a name yet. Thank you very much, Ryan, for pointing that out. It's a $1 million opportunity to have the fitness center named for you, your company, or a loved one, or a cause that you believe in. We've already changed a little bit of the layout and the color scheme in there, but you can see that it's a large area. It's going to be a big improvement. You can't tell so well in here how high the ceilings are. We just bought a little bit more ceiling height, I think, in here as well. It's going to be a lot different than our current fitness center. And then here you can see what I think is
There
going to
we
be.
go.
Now this, if you were outside and you reference those shots we took out there when I was talking about the east patio and the young balcony up there, it's hard to visualize what it's going to look like. So let's go back here. Okay, so Ryan, right here you can see what will become our east patio right here. So a pretty big outdoor social space right here. And then above this is where the young balcony will be. We're gonna have rocking chairs, fans, a lot of space for people to come and enjoy the view, enjoy socializing with each other. Our vision for this is that even if you're not able to be on the court, you're recovering from something, or you are just watching your friends, that you have a comfortable place to stay and engage with people. That is eastward facing, which means it's going to be very shady in the afternoons. And I said we're gonna have rocking chairs out there.
Are those the courts that are currently there?
They are.
Okay.
That is the
So in the shot that's currently on the screen for people, we're standing around where that window is, I believe. Where I am, and then cut to that shot, cut to the east patio, and then cut back to that shot, and then cut to me, and then cut to John, and then cut back to that.
We can go out there from. There's another shot you might want to get. I can take you out from in here, from the toward that right there. That might be good. But I'm really excited about this outdoor space.
Yeah,
and I think you have to see these to see how nice it's going to be.
Yeah, we literally both gasped when it came up.
Right. I don't think I've picked up my jaw yet. Like,
I don't think I've ever reacted like that to it. It looks really good.
I'm so glad to hear that.
It's so entertaining. Like I would, especially up there in like a rocking chair, and you're just talking and like watching people play. I would cheer them on. I'd be like, "Go, person in blue!" You know. I mean, maybe that's disrespectful. I don't know.
I love it. Well, have a little, play some chess up there. You know, you could do a lot of things, and that really is when we were talking about socializing. That's the indoor, outdoor opportunities. It's built to say, have a seat, be active, right? Move around, be active, be healthy. We're going to be focusing on nutrition and people's mental and spiritual and physical health, but also rest and socialize. Yeah. That is just as important, to stay and enjoy yourself, feel comfortable, and make the most of these spaces, and know that you're welcome here.
Yeah. Wow.
Ryan, if I can go back for a second, something you were saying earlier about, and maybe you split, if you want to cut this anywhere or anything, I don't know. But when you were talking about no community center, we do hear from people that we have community centers on the island, right? We hear people who say, my club is kind of a community center,
in your
right?
Private
and
gated community.
And people also say, but this is what Mackle Park was supposed to be. And I do want to say, we have, as a community, we have a lot of resources through the church. You mentioned the churches, through the nice parks and all that. We're looking to add a layer onto those things that gives people a place where they can seek resources as well. One thing we know we're going to have to get ready for is that when people come and they spend more time here, we're going to learn that they don't just need the programs that we're offering. We know that we're going to find people who are not sure how to pay their bills in a digital age. We know that some of them may have had a spouse who took care of those sorts of things. We know that we're going to be needing to help people with a lot of other things. And you put all of that together, we're still going to need the help of the churches and the other organizations, and want to partner with the city and other nonprofits and everything to deliver these services. So
because also on top of that, imagine you want to do anything during the summer,
right?
Camp Mackle,
right?
No, you can't. The Mackle is like completely cornered off during the entirety of Camp Mackle. So I'm sorry, but maybe we have a community center in Mackle, but one of those rooms is fairly decently sized. And then, some churches have fellowship halls and stuff like that, but I don't know. I disagree with the sentiment of the people that you're referencing.
I think I do too. I mean, thus far, like walking around, and I mean, we were just walking up the sidewalk to go see you guys, and everybody was so friendly, like, "Oh, good morning," you know, all that stuff. I go to Mackel Park, and people will be walking their dog, and everybody's like, you know, "Who are you?"
I
Get away
don't
from
always
me.
experience that. I think it might have been the fact that we're with the CEO and I don't know your title.
Director of Development.
Director of Development. We're with two of the most
Well, no,
important
but I
people in
meant,
the
like,
entire organization.
when we were
so
walking
of course
to
people are going to be
them.
nice to us.
But I feel like right now what I'm learning and everything with the way that the community is giving to the Y and how it resonates with everybody thus far, it sets a real bar for what I think other places that call themselves community centers could do. And I think with that, the island is just like stuck in a rut. And I think you guys are very well beyond that. And you guys do an exceptional job at making it feel like a community.
Yeah.
That's
I think that actually a similar point to that. When we first discussed this on the podcast, it was our episode about Castaways Park. Castaways Park. Are they still calling it Castaways Park, or did they change?
So far
the
as I
name?
know, it
Okay.
is still, yes.
Because I saw there was a massive controversy about that. They need to change it to Pelican Point Park. But Castaways Park, we were talking about that on there. But something that I didn't even really consider when we did that episode is the fact that this is a more elderly community, and that is effectively a workout park, and with like no supervision. It is you go and you bring a spotter if need be, but that is probably aimed more towards our age to 40s or something. The only person that I actually imagine using that is Emily.
Okay, but you know what's crazy is that while I do agree that I think Mackel is supposed to be for people our age,
Castaways.
Castaways.
That's what I was referencing.
Oh, I thought
The
you
new park,
jumped
the
back
workout
to
park,
the workout park. Yes,
Yeah.
it is. I have seen people work out there.
which I have. But the thing is, it fills such a niche that we don't. I think it's necessary, but it's not as much the largest part of what the island is, you know? And I think what you guys are doing with the new campus that you're developing, it hits one of the largest groups of people that we have on the island. And of course, there's something for everybody. So it's not one note, I guess, would be the thing that I'm trying to get at.
I mean, I guess everybody's got to make that decision for themselves, but
Yeah,
you should see the courtyard.
That's going to be nice.
that's great.
Yeah, that's that transition between the buildings. You see, they're not connected, but it's going to be a nice
So
cover.
this is out here too.
That's the on the left there where you see the gentleman standing in the foreground. This way, this is really the transition from our older activity center into our healthy living center. They won't be physically connected. There'll be a really nice courtyard that is completely covered between them, and that will also have lots of shade, and it'll have lots of seating. So we're going to have a nice transition between the buildings and a place for people to socialize.
You have any idea how long this project's going to take?
Sure. We anticipate that this is going to be done next year. We're hopeful that it could be done around this time next year, but fingers crossed. Cindy, good enough? Okay, Robert, good enough? Okay, I got nods. So there's going to be a lot of room for socialization out here in the courtyard. And even with these planters that we're building in front, there are benches built in there. So we're going to have a lot of places for people to come, stay, and enjoy their time together and socialize. That is closest to our existing fitness center right there.
You can see the two like little half circles in the construction video. And that's where those two people are sitting.
That's
in
right.
that image.
That's right. And those are all intentionally, the edges of those planters are all intentionally made seating height. So again, for just every opportunity for people to, wherever they're comfortable, to have a seat and chat.
What'll be the hours for this facility?
So that's an interesting question, probably similar to what we have right now. So really early morning to late evening most days of the week, and then weekends a little shorter in the evenings probably. But what we do is we look at usage and what the community needs when people are wanting classes. And as I said, we have a 24-hour fitness center, which will stay open all that time. So we try to meet as many people where they are as we can.
How much is the gym membership?
The gym membership starts the membership is for everything in our facility that you can do actively. You know, obviously it doesn't include our children's programs and all that, but it does. Being a member does get you a discount on those things. So to use our pool, our courts, our fitness center, all of those things, our gymnasium starts around $60 a month for an individual. And we do our best to keep that low, and it is it's a good value, particularly for people who want to do more than just one just one activity. And some people do; they're very dedicated to their one activity. But we like to encourage people to try new things.
Yeah.
You know, if you're a swimmer, try pickleball. You know, it's a great way to socialize, and we've seen a lot of growth there. And we'll keep trying to add things that give people value for their dollar.
Cool.
I believe a family membership, a couple or a family, gets I believe is over $80 a month for a couple. I believe it goes so, but it's we try to give the best value we can.
Cool.
Yeah.
Because I'm just thinking of other gyms in the area and what they charge, and that's entirely reasonable, especially considering this is the only place you're getting a pool.
Can I just mention some of the people who've already
Yes,
supported us?
absolutely.
So, I really want to, a lot of the credit for getting us as far as we have starts with some of our elected officials. Senator Pasadomo and her office, former Representative Bob Rommel, currently our Representative Yvette Benaroche. They've all helped us to secure some state funding for the building and for some programming. We're going to equipment that's going to go in there to help us get off the ground with that, and that really started us on this project. And then we have a lot of individuals. I'm not gonna name them all, but I would say that I mentioned a few already, and I want to add the Dowk family has donated the lobby. I mentioned the Sandlands, the Sandbergs, Bill and Karen Young have made a commitment to this. We have others who have not named anything, and we're going to honor everybody who lets us on a donor wall. But we want to make sure that we appreciate, Publix. LCEC has committed to name the elevator, which is exciting.
Oh, that's cool.
George and Cindy, so our CEO and her husband and family have named the Love Abinator Stairway to Fitness. So I'm going to go back for reference to this because I had it up there and it went away. I mentioned Noontime Rotary before. In that Thomas activity suite, that's the Thomas family, Sue Thomas and family. Chuck was one of our longtime board members. Within that is the Billy and Ann Garrity activity room. And, I mentioned the Hydrologica Healthy Cafe before. Yeah. So we've just gotten a lot of great support so far, and we're looking for more. We really are looking for more to bring this home. We will honor people, recognize them as we can. Some people are a little bit shy about doing this. Right. I will say it helps to build excitement, and for other people to see names associated with a project. It gives us a stamp of approval when people lend their good name to a project like this. So I certainly appreciate wherever people are in this, and just look forward to talking more with the community as we go forward about finishing out this project and moving on with our dream of service.
Great. great. That's so exciting. I wish that we had more time because
I know,
we
I
could
do
run
too.
for forever. But you've casted an incredible vision here, and I hope that is there a link somewhere that people can go if they want to drop $10, $20, $50, $100, where can they go?
Absolutely. Go to ymcacollier.org and just look there. You'll see prominently a banner about the campaign, and that'll take you to the link that you need right there.
Cool. Is there like a
Perfect.
brick buying thing where the
We have not done that yet.
Okay.
Now I'm not saying that we won't. Where we are now at this stage is still looking at larger naming opportunities
Yeah,
for
of course.
recognition. We will be defining some other things beyond it. It may or may not be bricks. But we will have other opportunities for people to participate at all levels.
If you ever are thinking of a name for a smaller spot, Good Morning Marco has a really nice ring.
I like the idea of something sponsored by Good Morning Marco. That sounds
do
like
too.
a fantastic
have to
idea.
see
Let's talk.
where we can get that from.
I will find every
Wants to
every
sponsor us
dollar
so
I
we can
have.
sponsor them. Let us know.
Maybe it's a co-sponsor
Yes.
kind of thing. So wonderful.
With that, I know we've got to wrap up here. Is there any
Yes.
final closing arguments that you want to say?
I just want to say how much we appreciate you guys bringing a voice to what matters to the community. And I think it's been something, until we heard it, we didn't know how much we needed it. So I just want to say that, I hear from people all the time how much they enjoy your podcast. So we're honored to be part of this, and just thank you all for coming out and helping us to tell our story to the community.
Well,
Yes, of course.
You hit every bell in my head when you said that, because that's all that I want, is just to be able to let people tell their stories. So that makes me very happy that you said that. So
Yes, and John, Cindy,
Yeah,
both of you
thank
official
you.
friends of the podcast. Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
we'll have to have you on at some point, and then we'll have to have you back. So,
I like the idea of little updates.
I do
love
like
that.
the idea
I
of
like
little
that a
updates.
lot,
We'll
Okay.
have to come back like maybe every other month or so and see. It's like, so where are we at, John? It's like,
Yeah.
well, you can say that we're-
That's going to be a more fun hard hat tour.
Yeah.
Where we're actually,
Yes.
walk up some stairs and point around to things. Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Cool.
So, yeah.
I'm excited.
I am.
I'm really excited.
I am.
And things like this, when you say like you haven't heard that much about things and whatever, things like this help us.
Yeah.
Right. This is part of it. Is we're shouting it all the time, but we're not getting to everybody.
Yeah.
Right. And so this really helps us reach new audiences.
This episode of Good Morning Marco is brought to you by Tyler Buchan of the Golf Group. Located right here on Marco Island, they're your go-to experts for luxury living on Marco Island and beyond. Whether you're looking for a waterfront home with golf access, a condo with stunning beach views, or a private retreat down on Hideaway Beach, Tyler and his team will guide you to your home. Visit thegolfgroup.com to start your search today, or call 239-420-1099. Once again, that number is 239-420-1099. Go to thegolfgroup.com to find out more. Thank you so much to Tyler and his team for sponsoring this episode of Good Morning Marco.